Assalamu alaikum friends. I hope so that you all will be fine. Friends, now I'm going to start series of lectures on chemistry of carbohydrate. So in this video I'm going to discuss about the definition of protein and its classification. So now coming toward the definition of protein. Protein, they are polymer of L-alpha amino acid. Okay, so this is the definition of protein. That protein, it is the polymer of L-alpha amino acid. Now coming toward the classification of protein. Okay, friends, the proteins, they are classified on the basis of function. They are also classified on the basis of solubility, and they are also classified on the basis of nutrition. In this way, the proteins are classified. They are classified on the basis of their function, they are classified on the basis of their solubility, and they are also classified on the basis of their nutrition. So, first of all, let's discuss about the functional classification of protein. Okay, functional classification of protein includes, first of all, structural protein, storage protein, S means structural protein and here S means storage protein. Contractile protein, catalytic protein, regulatory protein, the receptors for regulatory protein, genetic protein, transport protein, and defense protein. So these are the examples of the functional classification of protein. SS structural protein, storage protein, CC contractile protein, catalytic protein, okay, R regulatory protein, receptors for regulatory protein, genetic protein, transport protein, and defense protein. Now, coming toward the examples, the structural protein includes collagen. Friends, this collagen protein, it is rich in glycine amino acid. It also contains hydroxyproline and lysine amino acid, but it is rich in glycine amino acid. The storage protein include ovalbumin, apoferritin, etc. Okay. Now coming toward contractile protein, they are actin and myosin. They play an important role in the contraction of muscles. Catalytic protein, enzymes, they are the examples of catalytic protein, and examples like glucokinase, hexokinase, transferases enzyme, and etc. These all are the examples of catalytic protein. Regulatory protein. All hormones, they are regulatory protein. Examples are insulin, glucagon, gastrointestinal tract hormone. Okay. Now receptors for regulatory protein, they act as a receptor. They act as a receptor for regulatory protein. Genetic protein include histone protein. The example of transport protein is albumin, transferrin, and ceruloplasmin. The defense protein example is immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin. So friends, it is the functional classification of protein, and these are the examples of the functional classification of protein. This collagen, it is structural protein, it is rich in glycine amino acid, ovalbumin, apoferritin and etc. These are the example of storage protein. Actin and myosin, these are the contractile protein. Enzymes, these are the catalytic protein. These hormones, they act as a regulatory protein, and the receptor, they act as a receptor for regulatory protein. Genetic protein includes histone protein. Transport protein includes albumin, transferrin, and ceruloplasmin, while defense protein includes immunoglobulin. So these are the examples of the functional classification of the protein. Now coming toward the second class of this protein. Okay. Second classification, that is solubility. This solubility classification, students, it is further classified into simple protein, conjugated protein, and derived protein. Okay, this solubility classification, it is again divided into simple protein, conjugated protein, and derived protein. Okay. Now simple protein, they are made up of only amino acids. They are made up of only amino acids. This simple protein, it is further classified into globular protein and scleroprotein. Okay. Globular protein means they are basically exist in the oval shape or spherical shape, while scleroprotein, they exist in like fibrous shape. Okay. Now coming toward the examples of globular protein. Example is albumin, globulin, globin, glutenin, prolamine, protamine, okay, and histone protein. These all are examples of globular protein. Now coming toward the example of scleroprotein, collagen, elastin, and keratin. This keratin protein, it is present in hairs and nails. This elastin protein, it is present in tendons, aorta, ligaments. Okay. So the simple protein, they are made up of only simple amino acids. They are classified into globular protein and scleroprotein. The examples of globular protein are albumin, globulin, globin, glutenin, protamine, and histone protein. Scleroprotein examples are collagen, elastin, and keratin. Now coming toward the conjugated protein. This conjugated protein, they are made up of amino acids and some other groups. Okay. Now coming toward the examples like glycoprotein. It contains carbohydrate part, as the name is indicating, glyco mean glycogen part. This is a carbohydrate. Mucoprotein, lipoprotein like lipid, and phosphoprotein. Okay, metalloprotein, chromoprotein, and nucleoprotein. Okay, so these all are the conjugated protein. This glycoprotein, the example is blood group substances, blood group antigens. This is the example of glycoprotein. Blood group substances. This mucoprotein, the example is mucin in saliva. Okay. Lipoprotein, as you know, lipoprotein examples are HDL, LDL, IDL, VLDL. Phosphoprotein example is milk protein, that is casein. It is a milk protein. The example of metalloprotein is carbonic anhydrase. It contains zinc as metal. Chromoprotein, chromo mean color. The example is hemoglobin. And nucleoprotein, the example is histone. So these all are the conjugated protein with their examples. Glycoprotein, the example is blood group substances. Mucoprotein, mucin in saliva. A lipoprotein example is high dense lipoprotein, low dense lipoprotein, intermediate dense lipoprotein, very low dense lipoprotein, chylomicron. These are all examples of lipoprotein. Phosphoprotein example is casein protein, which is present in milk. Metalloprotein example is carbonic anhydrase. It contains zinc as a metal. Chromoprotein example is hemoglobin, and nucleoprotein example is histone protein. Now coming toward the derived protein. Okay, derived protein. This derived protein, it is further classified into primary, and secondary derived protein. This primary derived protein, it is primary hydrolyzed form of simple and conjugated protein, while secondary derived protein, it is a secondary hydrolyzed form of the simple and conjugated protein. Now examples of the primary derived protein is coagulated protein. Coagulated protein, metaprotein, and coagulated protein, metaprotein, and proteins. These are the examples of primary derived protein. Coagulated protein, metaprotein, and proteins. Now coming to the secondary derived protein examples. The examples are peptone, polypeptide, peptide. These all are the examples of the secondary derived protein. Peptone, polypeptide, and peptide. These all are the examples of the secondary derived protein. So friends, it is the second classification of the protein, that is solubility. It is further classified into the simple protein, conjugated protein and derived protein. Simple protein, it is made up of only amino acids, while conjugated protein, they are made up of some other groups. Some other groups are also there, amino acids and some other groups, while derived protein, they are derived from the simple and conjugated protein. And the various examples. Now coming toward the nutritional classification of the protein. Okay, nutritional classification. This nutritional classification, they include complete protein, incomplete protein, and poor protein. Okay, this complete protein mean it contains all essential amino acid. It contains all essential amino acid. Now, what does it mean, essential amino acid? Mean the amino acid that does not synthesize in human body, that are needed to supply in diet. The amino acid that does not synthesize in our human body, but they are needed to supply it in diet, they are called as essential amino acid. Now, examples of essential amino acid is mnemonic to understand essential amino acid, that is mat will fly. Mat will fly, it is a mnemonic. M mean methionine. A mean arginine, no alanine. It is arginine. T mean threonine. This T mean tryptophan. Valine, isoleucine, lysine, phenylalanine, and lysine. Sorry, there is leucine. Okay. So these all are the essential amino acids: methionine, arginine, threonine, tryptophan, valine, isoleucine, leucine, phenylalanine, and lysine. These all are the essential amino acids. And the protein that contain all essential amino acids, they are called as complete protein. The example of complete protein includes egg albumin and casein protein, which is present in milk. Okay, now coming toward the incomplete protein. This incomplete protein, it lacks only one essential amino acid. It is deficient only one essential amino acid. Lack only one essential amino acid. Okay. इस इनकम्प्लीट प्रोटीन में सिर्फ एक एसेंशियल अमीनो एसिड कमी होती है. लाइक एग्जांपल्स लाइक pulses that are deficient in methionine, cereals that are deficient in lysine. Okay, so incomplete protein, they lack only one essential amino acid. Example are pulses and cereals. Pulses that are deficient in methionine and cereals that are deficient only in lysine. Now coming to the poor protein, they lack more than one essential amino acid. They lack more than one essential amino acid. The examples are zein in corn. Zein in corn, they are deficient in tryptophan and lysine. Okay. So these are the nutritional classification of protein. Complete protein, they contain all essential amino acid. Essential amino acid does not synthesize in human body, but they are needed to supply in diet, that are methionine, arginine, threonine, tryptophan, valine, isoleucine, leucine, phenylalanine, and lysine. Examples are egg albumin and casein protein. Egg albumin and casein protein, they are example of complete protein. Incomplete protein, they lack only one essential amino acid. Examples are pulses and cereals. Pulses that are deficient in methionine, and cereals that are deficient only in lysine. And poor protein, they lack more than one essential amino acid. Examples are zein in cod, they are deficient in tryptophan and lysine. So, friends, it is all about the definition and classification of protein. Keep watching and thank you.